Okay, welcome back. And speaking of back with us for his monthly tete-a-tete, it's an old Japanese expression, is Benjamin Fulford, somewhere in Greater Tokyo.
Hello.
Hello, that's not Japanese.
Domo, konnichiwa.
Much better.
That's Japanese.
Much better.
Well, Jeff, I have to say, things are getting weirder and weirder.
You noticed, did you?
Well, the Vatican sent out a representative.
What kind of telephone are you on?
A normal phone. Why?
One of those. Well, you're not on anything cordless, right?
It's cordless, but
See?
You want me to switch to a cord phone?
Please.
All right.
We'll actually be able.
Call me back.
We can do that. With the same number?
Yep.
All right. Hang up. We'll call you back on the same number. All right. We can't. I mean, it would be nice to be able to understand Ben. I mean, some of you would say, what difference is a phone going to make? Nah, that's not nice. He's not here to defend himself. We're going to call him back on his hardline phone, but it is true in radio. You've got to be on a hardwired telephone. Cordless phone? Cell phone? Internet, audio, VoIP? No good. Too many probable issues will come up, just like they sound like he was talking through a bag full of popcorn. I wonder if they have an expression in Japanese for that. Ben Fulford, of course, was for 8 years the Asia Pacific Bureau Chief for Forbes magazine. He is a true journalist, a best-selling author in Japan, and I think he's back. Are you back?
I'm back.
Now, see, you sounded like you were talking through a bag full of popcorn before.
Okay, well, there must be some sort of heavy electronic traffic around my house then.
Could be.
So I'm sticking to a wire.
Well, the wire works.
Anyway,
the wire works.
Like I say, things are getting extremely bizarre indeed, to say the least.
Now, when you say
representative.
Okay, say that again.
The Vatican.
The Vatican sent you a representative.
The Black Pope, the real Vatican.
He showed up in his black robes
with a kind of satanic beard. Anyway.
Wait a minute. Excuse me. Hold on. Are you telling us that I've forgotten the guy's name, but the Jesuit Black Pope paid you a visit? Well, David Rockefeller in a way paid you a visit, but tell me more.
Okay. Well, here's the thing: is that when the Chinese secret society basically said to the Pope and the Black Pope that they were, they had better come up with the goods and explain what's going on, I got told an extraordinarily bizarre story.
Yeah, you usually do get those kinds.
I think I've said this before, but I'll repeat it. They believe that the planet, the solar system, revolves around the galaxy once every 26,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
And that they were given a 26,000-year plot, which they had to force humans to follow.
Mm-hmm.
And that plot is expiring in 2012.
Not another 2012.
I think this is nonsense, but
I can't take it.
But if you look at the New Testament, Luke 14th, in the original Aramaic, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I remember, I was raised an atheist, okay? So this is very weird for me. But you have Jesus saying that Satan is Barack Obama.
I've
Obama.
I've heard this before, yes. In fact, I put it up on my site, yeah.
So it's almost like they had this plot line developed that long ago. I know
in the alternative, someone was reading the ancient scriptures and decided to concoct something that would make it appear that there was something put together way back then.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that way too. You know, that's where we have to be careful. But clearly, now the other thing is that the Emperor of Japan and the new Prime Minister are both Freemasons, okay? And they're following orders. You know, anything that the whole sort of system that they've had for controlling our information is falling apart. And I'm beginning to suspect, and this is very outrageous what I'm about to say, but I think that we have been living like domesticated animals at the lowest possible level for a very long time. Now, I once visited a pig farm in Japan. And when you go there, you notice there's some huge pigs. They're like maybe 50, 70 years old. And all they do is they fornicate with the females and impregnate them, and they lie around and eat. And the females, they're pregnant or they're taking care of babies.
All right.
When the babies get 1 year old, they're all put in the truck and off they go somewhere. Now, the parents don't know. They think maybe they're going to go to a farm like us and live like we do. They just don't know.
All right. 75-year-old pigs. All right, I got it. That's
so
good.
Maybe we human beings as a species have been kept like those 1-year-old pigs, way below our potential. This is the conclusion I'm starting to reach.
Well, they're being taken down to a lower echelon all the time, Ben, by TV.
Yes, especially in the United States.
That's right.
What I've decided is that what Satan really is, okay, is an ancient caste of human slave drivers that have been they've been in the business of enslaving humans for thousands of years.
I'm not going to argue that general principle. It's a good concept. It works.
And I believe that they have enslaved the American citizens. And here's another thing I'd like to tell you. You know, I think I've mentioned before, my father passed away in January.
Yeah.
And just before he died, he told me his mother was a Jew. I knew my mother had Jewish blood in her. I didn't know my father did.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently his mother told him when she was on her deathbed.
Mm-hmm.
These are what you'd call uncircumcised atheistic Jews, okay?
Mm-hmm.
In other words, they are people that secretly kept their freedom through all these thousands of years. And they don't believe in the concept of Goyim or Gentiles. They believe that the golden rule, treat others the way you expect them to treat you, applies to all humans.
Right.
And they were so suppressed, that's how far they had to go to hide their identity.
Wow. Well,
and that's why I want to make sure you understand that, you know, all these attempts to portray this as a Jewish problem are the efforts of these slave drivers and these Satan worshippers to deflect the problem onto their most ancient caste of slaves,
right?
So they take the punishment.
Well,
and this is what's spoiled. The whole thing is falling apart now after all these thousands of years.
Uh-huh.
And they really are coming down to the wire now.
Yeah, Ben, that there is an evil caste on this planet that has largely controlled the destiny of most of the people who have lived upon it is indisputable. Whatever label you want to hang on that group is up to you. It doesn't matter. Evil is evil, and black still is black. It's not white. And I agree. Now, tell me more about that. So you've got so-called Jewish or Semitic ancestry. Big deal. It's interesting, though, that they would go to that extent to hide it because of the obvious, hideous connotation that not Jews, but we call them Zionists now, which is a contemporary name for this evil caste, which seeks to subvert, subjugate, and enslave everyone else for its own benefits, that they would go to that extent to do that. But please continue. I want to hear more, because we are certainly in precarious times.
Well, in other words, you know, they as a people were host to a very, very dangerous parasite, which was why they have been persecuted throughout the years. And they themselves do not even know this. Righteous, religious Jews do not know they have a king, a God king, who rules them. They don't know there's a Rothschild who pretends to be king of the Jews but keeps his identity secret from the Jews themselves. They don't know. And those that do, well, they're part of the slave, driving caste. They believe that they are above the rest of the humanity, and the rest of humanity is cattle.
They are the chosen.
It's human slave drivers that we have to deal with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. You're totally right. It's evil. You paint it any color you want. Evil is evil, and we've got an evil cast of people on the planet.